The Arizona sun beat down mercilessly on August 1st, 2025, turning the Phoenix Tesla showroom into a shimmering mirage of glass and steel. Inside, the air hummed with the quiet efficiency of electric dreams. Sleek Model Ys and Cybertrucks gleamed under soft lights, while well-dressed salespeople glided between customers dripping with wealth. In the corner, a man in faded jeans and a worn gray hoodie stood unnoticed, his face shadowed by a baseball cap pulled low. No one paid him any mind, and that was exactly how Elon Musk wanted it. Today, he wasn't the billionaire titan, just a ghost checking the pulse of his empire. Elon sipped a lukewarm coffee, his sharp eyes scanning the room. He'd slipped in an hour ago, curious to see how his staff treated the everyday dreamer, not just the high rollers. The showroom buzzed, young tech bros in designer sneakers, a couple in tailored suits eyeing a plaid, all greeted with smiles and specs. Then his gaze snagged on something near the entrance. An older woman shuffled in, her steps slow but deliberate, her floral dress faded but pressed with care. Her gray hair was pinned back, and she clutched a crumpled envelope in trembling hands. She approached the front desk, her voice soft but firm. "Excuse me, I'd like to ask about a car." The receptionist, a young man with gelled hair, flicked his eyes up from his screen. "Someone will be with you soon," he muttered, already back to typing. The woman, Clara Evans, though no one asked, nodded politely and stepped aside. She drifted to a Model 3, her fingers hovering over its curves but never touching, her eyes wide with a mix of awe and something deeper. Elon watched as she circled the floor, raising a hand now and then to catch a salesperson's eye. No one stopped. 30 minutes ticked by, then 45. Salespeople breezed past her, offering test drives to a guy in a Rolex, specs to a woman with a Birkin bag, while Clara waited invisible. Elon's jaw tightened. This wasn't right. His company was built on disruption, on breaking molds, not ignoring the quiet dreamers. Clara sat on a bench, her shoulders sagging, then stood again, trying one last time to flag someone down. A salesman in a crisp suit, name tag reading Kyle, glanced her way, then kept walking. She sighed, tucked the envelope into her purse, and turned for the door. That's when Elon moved. He set his coffee down and crossed the floor in long strides. "Ma'am," he called, his voice casual but clear. "Were you looking for help?" Clara turned, surprise flickering across her lined face. "Oh, yes," she said, a faint smile breaking through. "I wanted to see the Model Y, I think." "I'd be glad to show you," Elon said, tipping his cap slightly. "Name's Ed." The alias rolled off easy. He didn't want fanfare skewing this moment. "Thank you, Ed," she replied, offering a shaky hand. "I'm Clara Evans." Her grip was frail but warm, years of life etched into her palms. "The Model Y's over here," Elon said, leading her to a midnight blue one in the corner. "Practical, electric, pretty damn cool if I say so." Clara's eyes lit up as they reached it. "It's lovely," she murmured. "May I look inside?" "Go for it," Elon said, opening the driver's door. She eased in, her hands brushing the wheel, a quiet joy spreading across her face. "This is something," she said, almost to herself. "My granddaughter would lose her mind over this." "Granddaughter?" Elon asked, leaning against the frame. Clara nodded, her smile softening. "Sophie, 10, smart as anything. Obsessed with your cars, Mr. Sorry, Ed. She's got sketches of them taped up everywhere." Elon felt a spark of warmth. Kids like Sophie were his why. "She's a fan, huh?" "Oh, the biggest," Clara chuckled. "Reads about batteries, solar grids, all of it. Says you're fixing the world." Her voice dipped, wistful. "I came here for her, really. Not to buy, mind you. I couldn't afford that on my pension. Used to clean houses till my knees gave out." She patted her purse. "Been saving bits, though. Thought I might rent one for a day, give her a thrill before." She trailed off, tapping her chest lightly. "Before?" Elon prompted, his gut tightening. Clara met his eyes, steady despite the tremble in her hands. "Cancer, breast, spread to my bones. Docs say 3 months, maybe less." Elon swallowed hard. "I'm sorry," he said, meaning it. "Don't be," Clara replied, her tone firm. "I've had 68 good years. But Sophie, she's my heart. Made her a promise I'd get her close to a Tesla before I go. She's back in Tucson with my son, doesn't get out here much." She ran a finger along the dashboard. "She's all about the future, clean air, green cities. I want her to know her old gran believed in it too." Elon looked away, blinking at the sting in his eyes. He'd faced down rockets and recessions, but this, Clara's quiet fight for a kid's dream, hit different. "Let me show you the screen," he said, leaning in to tap the display. He walked her through it, autopilot, range, energy stats, savoring her gasps of wonder. They spent 15 minutes lost in the car's magic, Clara jotting notes on her envelope with a stubby pencil. "How much to rent one?" she asked finally. Before Elon could answer, a sharp voice cut in. "Excuse me, what are you doing?" Kyle, the salesman, stormed over, his tie too tight, his glare fixed on Clara. "These aren't for browsing unless you're buying," he snapped. "I'm showing my friend the features," Elon said, calm but cold. Kyle barely glanced at him. "Ma'am, I'll need you to step out. We've got real customers." Elon straightened, pulling off his cap. "I think we're fine here." Kyle turned, annoyance flashing, then froze. "I'm Elon Musk," Elon said, voice flat. "Pretty sure I own this place." The showroom went still. Kyle's face drained white, a coffee cup hit the floor somewhere, and Clara stared, mouth agape. In that heartbeat, everything shifted. Word rippled fast. Phones came out, whispers turned to gasps. The manager, a woman in a pencil skirt, rushed over, nearly tripping. "Mr. Musk, we didn't know." "That was the point," Elon cut in. Clara started to climb out, flustered. "I should go." "Stay," Elon said, a hand on her shoulder. "We're not done." The manager stammered apologies, shooting Kyle a death glare, but Elon waved it off. "Somewhere quieter," he said, nodding toward her office. 5 minutes later, they sat alone, Clara clutching her envelope, Elon leaning back, cap off. "So," he said, "Sophie's 10, loves Teslas, lives in Tucson." Clara blinked, caught off guard. "Yes, she just had a birthday, July 20th. Wants to be an inventor someday." "August rental for her, then?" Elon asked. Clara nodded. "If I make it," promised her a ride. Her voice cracked. "Sounds simple, saying it to you." "It's not simple," Elon said, serious. "It's everything." He tapped his phone, thinking. "When were you planning to see her?" "August 10th, Clara said. "Flight's booked if I'm still here." Elon texted fast. Lydia Chun, his assistant, would get it rolling. "Clara," he said, "I'm making you a promise. Sophie won't just ride in a Tesla. I'll make it something she'll never forget." Her eyes welled up. "Why?" she whispered. "Because sometimes," Elon said, "the right person walks in and you've got to balance the scales." As Clara left, lighter despite her frail frame, Elon knew this was just the start. Her hope, Sophie's future, and maybe something bigger, sparked in a showroom no one saw coming. August 3rd, 2025, baked Phoenix in relentless heat, but Clara Evans felt a flicker of something cool, hope, lingering from her encounter 2 days ago. She sat on her sagging porch swing in a modest Tucson suburb, the paint peeling around her small rental like a sunburned memory. The envelope from the Tesla showroom rested on her lap, now scribbled with notes about the Model Y's screen and range. Her gray hair fluttered in a faint breeze, and she sipped weak tea, her hands trembling less from illness today than from the surreal memory of Elon Musk, promising her something for Sophie. She hadn't dared call the number he'd slipped her. Lydia Chen's card tucked in her purse, afraid it was a dream she'd wake from. Inside Tesla's California HQ, Elon paced a glass-walled conference room, the Pacific shimmering beyond. He hadn't slept much since meeting Clara. Her quiet strength, her fight for Sophie gnawed at him. Blueprints and holoscreens cluttered the space. Engineers hunched over a custom project he'd demanded fast-tracked. "It's not just a car," he told them, voice sharp. "It's a symbol, Clara's legacy, Sophie's spark. 8 weeks, make it happen." The lead engineer, Priya Patel, frowned. "The mods, accessibility grips, energy kit, aren't standard. We need months." "We don't have months," Elon shot back. Her clock's ticking, 3, maybe less. "Get it done." Priya nodded, resigned. "We'll pull nights." Back in Tucson, Clara's phone buzzed, a rare sound in her quiet life. She fumbled it from her purse, heart skipping as Lydia Chun glowed on the cracked screen. "Mrs. Evans?" a warm voice asked. "This is Lydia, Mr. Musk's assistant." Clara's breath caught. "Yes, hello. I'm sorry we didn't reach out sooner," Lydia said. "Elon's been tying up details. He'd like to invite you and Sophie to Tesla HQ, August 15th, her birthday. Everything's arranged." Clara's tea sloshed, staining her dress. "Invite us?" I can't afford." "All covered," Lydia cut in. "Flights, hotel, medical support if needed. Elon's got a surprise for Sophie. He's overseeing it himself." Clara's eyes stung. "A surprise?" He mentioned something, but... "It's big," Lydia said, a smile in her tone. "He's not sharing details yet. Wants Sophie's reaction fresh." Can I send travel plans? Yes, Clara whispered, dazed. Thank you. She hung up, staring at the desert horizon. A car, a trip. Too much for a retired cleaner with creaky knees and a failing body. She dialed her son, Daniel, in Tucson, hands shaking more now from awe than pain. Danny, she said when he picked up, you won't believe this. She recounted the showroom, Ed turning into Elon the call. Silence stretched, then Daniel's voice wary. Mom, you sure this isn't a scam? Elon Musk. It's real, Clara insisted. Lydia's sending papers, private flights, a hotel. For Sophie's birthday. Another pause. She's been begging to see a Tesla up close, Daniel admitted. But you, flying with your condition? They've got medical help, Clara said. Danny, it's for her, I promised. He sighed. Okay, Mom. Tell Sophie tonight. I'll brace for the squeals. Clara smiled, picturing her granddaughter's gap-toothed grin, her walls plastered with Tesla sketches. She'd kept her diagnosis quiet from Sophie, Daniel's call. But this she'd share. At HQ, Elon hunched over a hollow screen, tweaking a design, Model Y blue like Clara's dress, with custom grips for her frail hands, a solar kit for Sophie's future. Energy package? He asked Priya. Loading tomorrow, she said bleary-eyed. Cars at 80%, accessibility's tricky. Make it 100, Elon said, tapping the screen. Clara gets an easy, Sophie learns clean energy hands-on. He glanced at a faded photo on his desk, his grandfather, stern but kind, next to a 10-year-old Elon. Some things matter more than timelines, he muttered. Priya didn't ask. She'd seen that look before, when stakes turned personal. August 5th, Clara's doorbell rasped, a rarity. She shuffled over, expecting a neighbor, but found Lydia Chun in a crisp blazer, folder in hand. Mrs. Evans, Lydia smiled. May I come in? Clara blinked, ushering her to the worn couch. Tea. Love some, Lydia said, settling in. Clara poured, hands steadier now, and Lydia slid the folder over. Travel details. August 13th, private medical jet from Tucson. You, Daniel, Sophie. Hotel's got a care suite. Clara opened it, an itinerary, Tesla logo gleaming. He's really doing this, she breathed. Lydia nodded. Elon's all in, says you reminded him of something big. Me. Clara laughed, frail but real. I'm nobody, just an old gran with a promise. Not to him, Lydia said. He's got a team racing for Sophie's birthday. Won't say what, but it's personal. She pulled out a second sheet. Flights set, nurse on board, oxygen ready. Daniel and Sophie land same day from Tucson. Clara's throat tightened. I don't know how to thank him. Seeing Sophie's face'll do it, Lydia grinned. Can I call Daniel? Might help him believe. Clara handed over her ancient flip phone. Daniel under D. Lydia dialed, speaker on. Mom. Daniel's voice crackled. Who's there? Lydia Chun, Tesla, she said. Your mom's invite's legit. August 15th, HQ, flights, hotel, all on us. Silence then. Tesla's Elon Musk? For real. Met him myself, Clara chimed in. Danny, it's true. Lydia laid out details, jet, sweet surprise. Daniel exhaled. Sophie'll flip. Mom, you sure you're up for this? For her. Yes, Clara said firm. Okay, he relented. Send the papers. I'll tell Soph tonight. Call ended, Clara sank back, overwhelmed. He's telling her now, she murmured. She'll go wild. Lydia gathered her things. Elon's betting on that. In California, Elon stared at the Model Y's frame, grips welded, solar kit mocked up. 2 weeks, he told Priya. Clara's fading. Sophie needs this. We're on it, Priya said, stifling a yawn. He pulled his phone, texted Lydia. Clara set? Reply, yes, Sophie's in. Papers sent. He nodded to himself, then opened a locked file, nanotech scans, medical specs. Another project, secret even from Priya, hummed in his mind. Clara's hope wasn't just a car. It was a chance at more. Back in Tucson, Clara sat on her swing, envelope clutched tight. The sun dipped low, painting the desert gold. Sophie's squeals would come soon, and with them, a future she dared not dream. One Elon was already building, piece by quiet piece. August 10th, 2025, draped Tucson in a sticky heat that clung to Clara Evans like a second skin. She sat in her cramped living room, the ceiling fan creaking above, her oxygen tank hissing softly beside her faded armchair. The envelope from Lydia Chun, now a talisman of hope, lay open on the coffee table, travel papers neatly stacked. 3 days since Lydia's visit, and Sophie's squeals still echoed in her mind from Daniel's call that night. Gran, Tesla. Elon Musk. The girl's voice had crackled through the phone, pure joy cutting through Clara's fatigue. We're gonna see it, right? You and me? You bet, Soph, Clara had promised, her chest tight but her heart full. Now, though, the tightness wasn't just emotion. She'd woken at dawn, breath short, bones aching deeper than usual. The cancer was clawing harder. 3 months, the doctors said, but today felt like less. She sipped water, hands trembling, and glanced at the Tesla watch on her wrist, a last-minute gift from Lydia, mailed with a note, monitors vitals, wear it. It blinked steady, heart rate 88, oxygen 90, but she didn't trust the calm. Daniel was due tomorrow with Sophie for a final Tucson goodbye before the California trip. She had to hold on. In California, Tesla HQ buzzed with controlled chaos. Elon Musk stood in a cavernous workshop, the custom Model Y, Clara's blue, Sophie's dream, taking shape under floodlights. Accessibility grips gleamed. The solar kit hummed in a mock-up beside it. 5 days, he barked at Priya Patel, the lead engineer, who rubbed sleep from her eyes. Clara's flight's the 13th, Sophie's birthday's the 15th. We're at 95%, Priya said, voice hoarse from nights of coffee and code. Grips are solid, energy package sinks, needs a test run. Make it perfect, Elon said, tapping a hollow screen. Clara's fading, Sophie needs this memory. He glanced at his phone, Lydia's update, Clara's set, watch active. Sophie's psyched. Then a locked file, nanotech scans, tumor maps. A side project, whispered only to Dr. Elena Ruiz, his medical research lead, churned in his mind. Clara's cancer wasn't just her fight. It was a puzzle he couldn't let go. Priya, he said, add a data node to the car, vitals link real-time. She frowned. For Clara? Yeah, he said, cryptic. And more. She didn't push. His focus was a freight train, and she was on board. Back in Tucson, Clara's morning unraveled fast. She stood to refill her glass, but the room tilted. A sharp stab in her chest dropped her to her knees. The glass shattered, water pooling on cracked linoleum. She gasped, clawing for her phone, but it skittered under the table. Her vision blurred, the oxygen tanks hiss a distant lifeline. Next door, Maria Lopez, her neighbor of 10 years, heard the crash through their thin shared wall. She'd brought Clara soup just yesterday, seen the frailty creeping in. Clara, she called, knocking. No answer. Maria grabbed her spare key and burst in, finding Clara crumpled, gray-faced. Hold on, amiga, Maria whispered, dialing 911. Paramedics stormed in minutes later, strapping Clara to a stretcher as Maria clutched her phone, scrolling for Lydia's number, saved from a soup-stained napkin Clara had bragged about. Ms. Chun. Maria's voice shook when Lydia picked up. It's Clara, she's down, hospital now. Which one? Lydia's comm cut through. Tucson Medical. On it, Lydia said, hanging up. Clara's world faded to sirens and sterile lights, her last thought Sophie's voice. Gran, we're gonna see it. At HQ, Elon's phone buzzed mid-meeting. Lydia. Clara collapsed. Lung failure, stable but bad. He froze, engineers glancing up as his face darkened. Priya, test the car today, full run. I'm out. He bolted, texting Lydia. Hospital status? Get Ruiz there. Reply, stable weak, Ruiz en route. Elon hit Dr. Elena Ruiz's line. Clara's down. 3 months just became weeks. Treatment ready. Lab only, Elena said, cautious. Nanobots target tumors, but human trials. She's it, Elon cut in. Prep it, private jet now. Risky, Elena warned. Her data could push us years ahead, or kill her faster. She'd want the shot, Elon said, sure. Move. Tucson Medical's ICU hummed with urgency. Clara lay in a stark bed, oxygen mask fogging with shallow breaths, monitors beeping a fragile rhythm. Maria sat vigil, clutching Clara's purse, envelope peeking out, when Daniel burst in, Sophie trailing wide-eyed. Mom! Daniel knelt, gripping her hand. What happened? Collapsed, Maria said. Docs say her lungs, fluid, cancer's worse. Sophie crept closer, her braids swinging, a Tesla sketchbook clutched tight. Gran! Clara's eyes fluttered open, focusing on her granddaughter's face. Soph, she rasped, smiling faintly. You're here. Got here fast, Daniel said, voice thick. Sophie wouldn't wait. The girl hugged Clara's arm, careful but fierce. We're still going, right? Tesla. Clara nodded, weak. Promised you. A doctor approached, middle-aged, stern. Mrs. Evans, your lungs failing. Cancer's aggressive. Weeks, not months. Daniel paled. Sophie's lip trembled. Can she travel? Daniel asked. Not commercially, the doctor said. Too risky. Lydia swept in then, blazer crisp despite the red-eye flight. Not commercial, private jet, medical suite. Elon's orders. The doctor blinked. Musk. Yes, Lydia said, handing him a tablet, Clara's vitals from the watch, streaming live. She's stable enough, nurse on board. Clara squeezed Sophie's hand. For her, I'll go. The doctor hesitated, then nodded. Against advice, but if it's equipped. It is, Lydia said. Hours later, Clara was wheeled to a private airfield, Daniel and Sophie beside her, Maria waving tearfully. A white jet, Tesla emblem gleaming, waited, its interior a flying ICU. Nurse Tomas Rivera strapped Clara in, monitors syncing to her watch. An hour to California, he said. You're tough, Mrs. Evans. Elon met them on the tarmac at Tesla's airstrip, cap off, eyes shadowed. Clara, he said as her stretcher rolled down. You made it. For Sophie, she whispered, oxygen mask muffling her strength. He glanced at the girl, sketchbook clutched, staring at him like he'd dropped from Mars. Hey, Sophie, he grinned. Big day soon. She nodded, awestruck. Hotel's ready, Elon told Daniel. Top floor medical suite, rest tonight. As they loaded into a modified Model X, Clara caught Elon's eye. Thank you, she mouthed. He nodded, then turned away, texting Elena. She's here, treatment now. The car wasn't the end game. Clara's fight was about to rewrite the rules. August 11th, 2025, bathed California's coast in a golden haze as Clara Evans settled into the Coastal View Hotel's top-floor medical suite. The room was a stark contrast to her Tucson rental. Plush carpet, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the Pacific, monitors humming beside a hospital bed tailored for her frail frame. Her oxygen tank hissed rhythmically, the Tesla watch on her wrist blinking steady. Heart rate 90, oxygen 88. She'd made the flight, barely, her chest a battlefield of cancer and grit. Daniel sat by her side, exhaustion lining his face, while Sophie perched on a chair, sketching Tesla mods in her worn notebook, her braids bouncing with each pencil stroke. Clara's eyes traced the ocean's shimmer, her mind replaying Elon's tarmac promise, something Sophie'll never forget. She'd seen the Model X's custom grips as they loaded in, felt the care in every detail. Danny, she rasped, voice muffled by the mask. He's real, doing this for us. Daniel nodded, still processing. Sophie's buzzing, keeps asking if it's a car or a rocket. Clara chuckled, wincing at the stab in her ribs. She'll see soon. Sophie looked up, grinning. Gran, you think it's solar-powered? Like fully? Maybe, Clara said, her smile frail but warm. Elon's tricky. At Tesla HQ, Elon stood in the workshop, the custom Model Y, Clara's blue, gleaming under harsh lights. Priya Patel ran diagnostics, her team bleary but focused. Test runs clean, she said, wiping sweat from her brow. Grips work, solar kits live, data nodes syncing vitals. Elon tapped the hood, satisfied. Good, Sophie's birthday's the 15th for days. Clara's fading fast. He glanced at a holoscreen, nanotech sims from Dr. Elena Ruiz, tumor maps pulsing. Priya, lock it down, delivery tomorrow. Done, she said, then hesitated. This data node, what's it for? Clara, Elon said, evasive. And beyond. She didn't press. His mind was a galaxy she'd learned not to map. Lydia Chin knocked, stepping in with a tablet. Clara's stable, hotel's set. Sophie's asking questions. Elon grinned faintly. Smart kid, keep him guessing. Daniel's on board, Lydia added. Flight took a toll on Clara. Ruiz is there now. Elon's grin faded. Treatment. Prepping, Lydia said. Elena's cautious. Nanobots are lab-tested, not human-ready. Clara's ready, Elon said, firm. She's got weeks, make it count. He texted Elena. Status? Reply. At hotel, tests today, treatment tomorrow if she holds. He exhaled, turning back to the car. This rolls out with the gift. Sophie's day, Clara's chance. In the suite, Dr. Elena Ruiz arrived, petite, sharp-eyed, a tablet glowing with Clara's scans. Mrs. Evans, she said, adjusting her glasses. I'm Elena, Elon's medical lead. We're trying something new. Clara nodded, mask fogging. He mentioned hope? Maybe, Elena said, honest. Nanobots, target tumors, spare healthy cells. Experimental, risky but promising. Daniel frowned. Risky how? Could fail or worsen her decline, Elena admitted. But success buys time, and data saves others. Clara's eyes flicked to Sophie, sketching furiously. For her, I'll do it. Sophie piped up. Nanobots? Like robots in your blood. Elena smiled. Exactly, tiny helpers. Your Gran's brave to try them. Sophie beamed. Gran's the bravest. Clara squeezed her hand, then turned to Elena. When? Tomorrow, Elena said. If tests clear. Rest today. Daniel pulled Elena aside. She's weak, sure this won't. No promises, Elena cut in. But Elon's all in, she's his spark. Daniel sighed, relenting. Her call. Clara drifted to sleep after, Sophie's chatter a lullaby, her watch ticking. Oxygen 86 now, a quiet warning. August 12th broke with a knock, Lydia crisp as ever. Morning, Clara. Elon's got a surprise rolling in today. Clara stirred, groggy. Already? A preview, Lydia grinned. Sophie's downstairs, can't sit still. Daniel wheeled Clara to the lobby, oxygen tank trailing. Sophie paced, sketchbook clutched, then froze as a blue Model Y glided up outside. Custom grips gleaming, solar panels strapped to a trailer. Elon stepped out, cap off, waving. Sophie Evans, he called. She bolted over, awestruck. That's mine. Yours and Gran's, Elon said, opening the door. Hop in. Clara watched from her chair, tears pricking as Sophie climbed in, hands flying over the screen. Gran, it's got solar stats, she yelled. Elon knelt by Clara. Mods for you, easy and out. Solar kits for her, teaches clean energy. It's perfect, Clara whispered. More tomorrow, Elon said low. Treatment's set, Elena's ready. Clara nodded, trusting. Daniel joined, shaking Elon's hand. She's never been this happy. Good, Elon said, eyes on Sophie. That's the point. Back in the suite, Clara rested, Sophie babbling about range and panels. Gran, we're gonna drive it, right? Soon, Clara promised, her watch dipping, oxygen 84. At HQ, Elon met Elena in a sterile lab. Nanobot vials glinted under cold lights. Clara's tests, he asked. Weak but viable, Elena said. Lungs failing, bones brittle, treatment's a coin toss. She's heads, Elon said. Prep it, Hotel Noon. He pulled a wooden box from his pocket, unopened, a secret gift for later. This rolls with the car, Sophie's day, Clara's fight. Elena nodded, uneasy but committed. Data's the win, even if... She'll make it, Elon cut in fierce. For Sophie. Night fell, Clara dreaming of Sophie's sketches, Elon's words, balance the scales, and a future she might yet touch, one nanobot at a time. August 13th, 2025, dawned crisp over the Coastal View Hotel, the Pacific glinting like a promise beyond Clara Evans's window. She lay in the medical suite's bed, oxygen mask fogging with shallow breaths, her Tesla watch blinking. Heart rate 92, oxygen 83. Yesterday's glimpse of Sophie's Model Y, blue as her old dress, grips for her frail hands, lingered in her mind, a bright spot against the gray ache in her bones. Today was bigger. The nanobot treatment, Elon's wild bet on her fading life. She'd slept fitfully, dreaming of Sophie's sketches, cars with wings, cities powered by sun, her granddaughter's voice a lifeline. Gran, we're gonna drive it. Daniel hovered nearby, pacing the plush carpet, his face etched with worry. Sophie sat cross-legged on the floor, sketchbook open, drawing a solar grid for their Tucson house. Gran, she said, pencil pausing. You think the nanobots will make you fly? Clara chuckled, a rasp under the mask. Not quite, Soph. Might keep me here a bit longer, though. Daniel shot her a look, hope warring with dread. Mom, you sure about this? Elena said risks. For her, Clara cut in, nodding at Sophie. I'd risk anything. Sophie grinned, gap-toothed. You're my hero, Gran. At Tesla HQ, Elon stood in the Advanced Research Division, a sterile lab hidden behind security doors, watching Dr. Elena Ruiz prep the nanobot vials. The tiny machines glinted under UV light, a swarm of hope in glass. Clara's vitals? He asked, voice tight. Elena tapped her tablet. Scans glowed, tumors dotting Clara's bones like cruel stars. Weak, oxygen's dropping, lungs strained. She's viable, barely. She's tougher than that, Elon said, gripping a wooden box in his pocket, unopened. Treatment's noon, hotel. Car rolls out too. Dual launch, Elena noted, uneasy. If it fails, it won't, Elon snapped, then softened. It's her shot, Sophie's memory. Back at the hotel, Lydia Chen arrived at 11 a.m., her calm a steady pulse in the room. Clara, Elon's on his way. Treatment and surprise all today. Clara nodded, mask fogging faster. Sophie's birthday's the 15th, why now? Your why, Lydia said gently. He wants you there for it. Daniel frowned. She's fading. Can she handle both? Medical team's set, Lydia assured. glancing at Nurse Tomas Rivera, who adjusted Clara's 4. Elena's got the nanobots, cars outside. Sophie bounced up. The blue one? For real. For real, Lydia grinned. Elon's driving it over. Noon struck as Elon pulled up in the Model Y. Solar kit trailer hitched, custom grips shining. He stepped out, cap off, eyes shadowed from sleepless nights. Sophie raced downstairs, Daniel wheeling Clara behind, oxygen tank trailing. Gran, look, Sophie yelled, pointing. Clara's breath hitched, joy not pain, as Elon knelt by her. Clara, this is yours, Sophie's too. Birthday's early. He opened the door. Sophie scrambled in, hands flying over the screen. Solar stats, Gran. It's live. Clara smiled, frail but fierce. Perfect. Elon leaned close. Treatments now, Elena's up top. You ready? For her, Clara whispered. Yes. In the suite, Elena set up, vials on a sterile tray, monitors syncing to Clara's watch. This'll take an hour, she said, voice steady. Nanobots go in via 4, target tumors, deliver meds. No promises, but hope, Clara finished, squeezing Sophie's hand. Daniel stood back, tense. Sophie watched, wide-eyed. Like robots fixing you? Exactly, Elena said, prepping the needle. Elon lingered by the door, wooden box in hand. Clara, this is step 1, Sophie's day's step 2. The 4 pierced, nanobots flowing. Clara felt a faint buzz, then nothing. Done, Elena said after an hour. We watch now, data's rolling. Sophie tugged Elon's sleeve. Can we drive it? Gran 2. Soon, he said, glancing at Clara, oxygen 85, steadying. Rest first. Daniel wheeled Clara to the window, Sophie chattering about solar grids. Mom, you okay? He asked low. Better, she lied, feeling the same ache but a flicker of something new, time maybe. Downstairs, the Model Y waited, a beacon of Sophie's future. Elon texted Priya, cars live, vitals syncing. Reply, good, data's clean. Then Elena, nanobots active, early signs positive. He exhaled, relief rare and sharp. Afternoon faded to dusk, Clara napping as Sophie sketched beside her. Nanobots now, tiny heroes in her art. Daniel stepped out with Elon, voice low. This treatment, if it works, how long? Weeks, months, can't say, Elon admitted. Data's the win, millions could get it. Daniel nodded, torn. She's all Sophie's got left, me too. She's got you, Elon said firm. And this? He patted the box, unopened. Night fell, Clara waking to Sophie's voice. Gran, you're glowing, nanobots? She laughed, weak but real. Maybe, sophomore. Her watch ticked up, oxygen 87, a whisper of hope in the dark. At HQ, Elena pored over scans. Tumors static, not shrinking yet, but not growing. It's holding, she told Elon via call. She's stable, more time than yesterday. Enough for the 15th, he asked. Maybe, Elena said. Data's gold, her watch is a lifeline. Elon hung up, staring at the Model Y on a workshop feed, Sophie's gift, Clara's bridge. He'd promised to balance the scales, and today they'd tipped, just barely, toward tomorrow. August 14th, 2025, crept over the California coast with a softness that belied the heat to come. The first rays of dawn painting the Coastal View Hotel's top-floor medical suite in hues of gold and peach. Clara Evans stirred in her hospital bed, the steady hiss of her oxygen tank a quiet companion to the faint hum of monitors tracking her fragile existence. The Tesla watch on her wrist blinked its relentless truth, heart rate 90, oxygen 88. A marginal uptick from yesterday's dip, a whisper of stability she clung to like a lifeline. Her chest ached, her bones creaked with the weight of cancer's relentless march. But there was something else now. A subtle buzz beneath her skin, the nanobots from yesterday's treatment weaving their microscopic dance through her veins. She wasn't cured, far from it, but she felt a flicker of something she hadn't dared name since her diagnosis, possibility. Across the room, Sophie slept curled in an oversized armchair, her small frame dwarfed by the plush cushions, her sketchbook splayed open on her lap. The page glowed with her latest creation, a blue Model Y, its sleek lines adorned with solar panels that shimmered in her penciled imagination, tiny arrows annotating energy flows and battery specs. Her braids spilled over her shoulders, and her soft snores mingled with the sweet, sterile quiet. Clara watched her, a smile tugging at her lips despite the oxygen mask fogging with each shallow breath. Sophie, 10 years old, sharp as a tack, dreaming of a world powered by the sun, was the reason Clara had fought this long, the reason she'd said yes to Elon's wild gamble. Daniel paced near the window, his silhouette framed against the Pacific's endless shimmer. His hands were stuffed deep in his jeans pockets, his shoulders hunched with the weight of a son watching his mother fade. He'd barely slept since Tucson, the private jet's smooth ride doing little to ease the gnawing fear that had settled in his gut. "Mom," he said, voice low so as not to wake Sophie. "You feeling any different?" Clara turned her head slightly, the effort pulling a faint wince. "Steadier," she rasped, the mask muffling her words. "Not better, just here." He nodded, unconvinced, his eyes flicking to the watch. "That thing says 88, up from 83. Good, right?" "Good enough," she said, her gaze drifting back to Sophie. For her. Downstairs, in the hotel's private lot, Elon Musk pulled up in the custom Model Y. Its midnight blue paint a perfect echo of Clara's faded dress from that fateful showroom day. The car gleamed under the morning sun, its accessibility grips polished to a mirror shine. A solar kit trailer hitched behind like a promise of tomorrow. He stepped out, cap off, his dark jacket rumpled from a night spent tweaking designs at HQ. The wooden box, still unopened, its purpose a mystery even to him in this moment, rested in his pocket, a quiet weight against his chest. He'd texted Lydia at 4 a.m. "Clara's ride today, Sophie too. Check vitals." Her reply had pinged back fast. "Stable, oxygen 88, Elena's cautiously hopeful." Now he leaned against the car, staring at the hotel's glass facade, his mind a storm of logistics and longing. Clara's time, Sophie's future, a breakthrough he could almost touch. Inside, Nurse Tomas Rivera checked Clara's monitors, his steady hands adjusting the oxygen flow with practiced ease. "You're holding," he said, his voice a calm anchor. "Nanobots are doing something. Tumors aren't growing, per Elena's scans." Clara's eyes brightened, a faint spark beneath the fatigue. "Enough for a drive?" she asked, her tone half plea, half dare. Tomas hesitated, glancing at the watch, 88 steady. "Short one maybe, doctor's call." Daniel spun from the window, frown deepening. "Mom, you just got those things in you, rest, don't push." "For Soph," Clara countered, her voice firm despite the rasp. "One ride, she's waited long enough." Sophie stirred then, blinking awake as if summoned by her name. "Gran," she mumbled, rubbing her eyes, then spotted Clara's determined look. "The car? For real?" "Today," Clara said, peeling off the mask for a moment, her smile frail but fierce. "Promised you." Sophie bolted upright, sketchbook tumbling to the floor, her grin splitting wide. "With Mr. Musk?" "The blue one." Before Clara could answer, a knock sounded, sharp, purposeful. The door swung open and Elon stepped in, his presence filling the room like a sudden gust. "Clara, Sophie," he said, a grin tugging at his lips. "Ready for a spin?" Sophie squealed, a sound so pure it cut through the suite's tension like a blade. "Yes. Yes. Gran, let's go." Daniel wheeled Clara's chair closer, oxygen tank secured, his reluctance warring with Sophie's joy. "You sure, Mom?" he asked low. "Sure as I'll ever be," she replied, gripping his hand briefly before letting Tomas help her into the chair. Downstairs, the lobby parted for them, staff whispering, guests staring, as Daniel pushed Clara outside, Sophie bouncing ahead. The Model Y waited, its blue curves a beacon under the sun. "Gran, look," Sophie yelled, pointing at the grips, the solar trailer. "It's ours." Elon opened the passenger door, guiding Clara in with care, those custom grips making the transfer smooth, almost effortless. "Fits you," he said, adjusting her oxygen tank behind the seat. "Sophie back, Daniel, you too if you want." Sophie scrambled in, hands flying over the leather, while Daniel hesitated, then climbed in beside her, protective but silent. Elon slid into the driver's seat, the car humming to life with a touch. "Solar stats are live," he said, tapping the massive screen. Charts flickered, showing real-time energy flow. Sophie leaned forward, eyes wide. "It's charging itself? Right now?" "Yep," Elon said, pulling onto the coastal road. "Your future, clean energy, hands-on." The Pacific sparkled to their left, waves crashing in a rhythm Clara felt in her chest. Less pain today, more breath. "Beautiful," she murmured, her voice soft but clear through the mask. Elon glanced at her, nodding. "Wait till you see it move." They hit a quiet stretch, cliffs rising sharp against the sky, and Sophie piped up. "Can I steer?" Elon laughed, a rare, unguarded sound. "Next time, kid, watch this instead." He engaged autopilot. The car glided, flawless, navigating curves without a twitch. Sophie gasped, clapping. "Gran, it's magic." "You're kind of magic, Soph," Clara said, squeezing her granddaughter's hand through the seat gap, her watch ticking up, oxygen 89. Back at the hotel, Dr. Elena Ruiz waited in the lobby, tablet glowing with fresh scans. As the Model Y rolled up, she met them, her sharp eyes softening at Sophie's chatter. "Clara," she said, kneeling by the wheelchair as Tomas helped her out. "Tumors are static, no growth since yesterday. Nanobots are holding." Daniel's breath caught. "How much time?" "Weeks, maybe months," Elena said, cautious. "Can't predict, but the data's huge. Could save millions." Clara's gaze locked on Sophie, now sketching the car's autopilot in real time. "Worth it," she whispered, a tear slipping free. Elon pulled Clara aside as Daniel and Sophie headed in. "Tomorrow's the big day," he said, voice low. "Car's hers officially, treatment's yours." "This," he tapped the wooden box in his pocket. "Waits till then." Clara's smile was frail but fierce. "You've given us everything." "Not yet," he said, eyes distant, fixed on a horizon only he could see. "Rest, Sophie's moment's coming." Upstairs, Clara napped, Sophie's voice a lullaby. "Gran will power the world," while Daniel watched, torn between hope and fear. Her watch climbed, oxygen 90, a fragile victory. At HQ, Elena briefed Elon in the lab. Scans showed nanobots clustering at tumor edges, delivering meds with eerie precision. "It's working slowly," she said. "Enough for the 15th? "Likely," she nodded. "Data's a gold mine. Her watch is feeding us live." Elon stared at the Model Y on a workshop feed, Sophie's gift now a bridge to Clara's fight. He'd promised to balance the scales, and today they'd tipped further, toward a tomorrow he'd build, one dream at a time. August 15th, 2025, rose over the Coastal View Hotel with a brilliance that felt almost defiant, the Pacific catching the sun's first light and hurling it back in a dance of gold and blue. Clara Evans woke to the familiar hiss of her oxygen tank, its rhythm syncing with the faint pulse of hope in her chest. The Tesla watch on her wrist blinked, heart rate 89, oxygen 91. A quiet miracle born of yesterday's nanobot treatment and the drive in Sophie's Model Y. Today was her granddaughter's 11th birthday, the day Elon Musk had promised something unforgettable, and Clara felt it in her bones. Less pain now, more purpose. She wasn't cured, but she was here, and that was enough. The medical suite buzzed with soft activity. Nurse Tomas Rivera adjusted her for, his steady hands a comfort as he checked the monitors. "You're climbing," he said, a rare smile breaking through his professional calm. "Oxygen's at 91, highest in weeks." Clara nodded, peeling off the mask to test her breath, shallow but clearer. "Enough for today?" she asked, her voice a rasp but stronger. Tomas glanced at the watch, then her chart. "Enough for a big day. Doctor's orders are light duty, but you're cleared." She smiled, frail but fierce, her eyes drifting to Sophie, who slept sprawled across the armchair, sketchbook clutched tight, its pages bursting with solar-powered dreams. Daniel stood by the window, staring at the ocean, his silhouette tense but softened by the dawn's glow. He'd barely left Clara's side since Tucson, his quiet vigil a testament to a son's love and fear. "Mom," he said, turning as she stirred, "you look better. That thing working?" He nodded at the watch, its data streaming live to Elena's team. "Seems so," Clara replied, her gaze steady. "Not fixed, Danny, just borrowed time." He crossed to her, kneeling by the bed. "Borrowed's fine. Sophie needs you today." She squeezed his hand, feeling the calluses of a mechanic's life. "We all do," she whispered, and he nodded, eyes damp. Sophie woke then, blinking against the light, her braids a wild halo. "Gran," she mumbled, then bolted upright as memory hit. "It's my birthday. The Tesla thing's today, right?" Clara chuckled, a sound that didn't hurt as much now. "Right, Soph, Mr. Musk's got a surprise." Sophie's grin split wide, gap-toothed and radiant. "The blue car?" More," Clara said, her heart swelling at the girl's joy. "Get ready, he'll be here soon." Sophie scrambled up, sketchbook tumbling, already chattering about solar grids and autopilot mods. Daniel shook his head, a faint smile breaking through. "She's unstoppable." At Tesla HQ, Elon Musk paced the workshop, the custom Model Y, Clara's blue, Sophie's dream, polished to a mirror sheen under harsh lights. The solar kit trailer sat ready, its panels gleaming, while a hollow screen displayed real-time data from Clara's watch, oxygen climbing, nanobots holding the line. Priya Patel, the lead engineer, ran final checks, her team bleary but triumphant. "It's 100%, she said, wiping sweat from her brow. "Grips perfect, solar syncs, data nodes live." Elon tapped the hood, satisfied. Good, Sophie's 11 today, Clara's here for it. Rollout's noon. Priya nodded, then hesitated. This node, vitals are one thing, but what's the more? Future, Elon said, cryptic, his hand brushing the wooden box in his pocket. Still unopened, its weight a quiet promise. Lydia Chen swept in, tablet glowing. Clara's at 91, Elena says it's holding. Sophie's buzzing. Elon grinned faintly. Kids of force, keep 'em guessing till noon. Hotel's set, Lydia added. Daniel's on board, treatment's a win so far. Elon's grin faded to focus. Nanobots, Elena's there? Sweet now, Lydia confirmed. Scans are gold, tumors static, maybe shrinking. He texted Elena, Clara's status? Reply, stable, 91's real. Noon's a go. He exhaled, turning to Priya. Car's the hook, treatment's the line. Sophie gets both. The engineer didn't ask. She'd learned his riddles meant breakthroughs. Back at the hotel, Dr. Elena Ruiz arrived at 10 a.m., her sharp eyes scanning Clara's latest scans on a tablet. Mrs. Evans, she said, adjusting her glasses, you're defying odds. Tumors aren't growing, some edges are fraying. Nanobots are working. Clara's breath caught, mask off now. Time. Weeks, maybe months, Elena said, honest. Data's rewriting cancer tech. Your watch is a beacon. Daniel frowned, hopeful but wary. Months, not days. Likely, Elena nodded. She's a fighter. Sophie piped up. Gran's a superhero. Nanobots are her power. Elena smiled. Close enough. Your Gran's helping millions. Clara's eyes welled. For her, she said, nodding at Sophie. I'd do it again. Noon loomed as Elon pulled up in the Model Y, trailer hitched, the hotel lobby buzzing with whispers, staff craning, guests gawking. He stepped out, cap off, wooden box in hand, and waved as Daniel wheeled Clara down, Sophie bounding ahead. Happy birthday, Sophie Evans, he called, opening the car door. Sophie froze, then squealed, rushing to the blue beauty. Grips gleaming, solar panels a promise of her sketches come alive. It's mine. For real. Yours and Gran's, Elon said, guiding Clara in, those grips making it easy, her oxygen tank snug behind. Hop in, test drives now. Sophie scrambled to the back, Daniel beside her, while Elon took the wheel. Solar stats live, he said, tapping the screen, charts danced, energy flowing. Your house in Tucson gets this kit, clean power, your design. Sophie's jaw dropped. My design. Gran, it's like my drawings. Clara turned, her smile bright despite the fatigue. Your future, sophomore. They glided along the coast, autopilot humming, Sophie clapping as the car steered itself. Magic, she yelled. Science, Elon corrected, grinning. Your science soon. Clara's watch ticked, oxygen 92, a silent cheer. Back at the hotel, a small crowd gathered, staff, guests, a local news van sniffing a story. Elon parked, helping Clara out as Elena approached. Clara, scans are in, tumors shrinking, 5% down. It's working. Daniel's breath hitched. Months. More maybe, Elena said. Data's a lifeline, millions could get this. Sophie hugged Clara, fierce. You're staying, Gran. Trying soft, Clara whispered, tears falling. Elon knelt by her. Car's hers, treatment's yours. But this, he pulled the wooden box, is later. Rest now. Clara nodded, trusting. Night fell, Sophie sketching by Clara's bed. Nanobots now heroes in her art, while Daniel watched, hope winning. Mom, you're a miracle, he said. Sophie's the miracle, Clara replied, her watch at 92. At HQ, Elena briefed Elon, scans glowed, nanobots rewriting fate. She's a pioneer, she said. Enough for more, he asked. Yes, she grinned. Your scales are tipping. He clutched the box unopened, knowing tomorrow's gift was just the start. Clara's fight, Sophie's spark, a future infinite. August 16th, 2025, draped the Coastal View Hotel in a quiet haze. The Pacific's morning shimmer muted by a thin veil of fog that clung to the California coast. Clara Evans lay in her medical suite. The hiss of her oxygen tank a steady undertone to the soft beeps of monitors tracking her fragile resurgence. The Tesla watch on her wrist glowed. Heart rate 88, oxygen 93. A fragile but undeniable climb since the nanobot treatment began 3 days ago. Yesterday had been Sophie's 11th birthday, a day of blue Model YS and solar dreams. And Clara still felt the echo of her granddaughter's squeals, the warmth of her fierce hug. She wasn't cured, cancer still gnawed at her bones. But she was here, breathing easier, and that was a victory she hadn't dared imagine. The room hummed with a gentle rhythm. Nurse Tomas Rivera adjusted her his calm presence a anchor as he checked the latest scans on a tablet. "You're a marvel, Mrs. Evans," he said, his voice tinged with awe. "Oxygen's at 93. Tumors down 7% since yesterday. Those nanobots are fighters." Clara peeled off the mask, testing her breath, still shallow, but less labored. "Enough to keep going?" she asked, her rasp softer now, edged with hope. Tomas nodded, glancing at the watch. "More than enough. Elena's calling it a breakthrough." She smiled, frail but radiant, her gaze drifting to Sophie, who sat cross-legged on the floor, sketchbook open, penciling a nanobot army battling shadowy tumors, her grand's heroes. Daniel leaned against the window, the fog outside mirroring the cloud that had lifted from his face. He'd watched Clara fade for months, but now there was something else in her eyes, a spark he hadn't seen since before the diagnosis. "Mom," he said, crossing to her bedside, "you're looking stronger." "Really?" Clara met his gaze, steady despite the fatigue. "Borrowed time, Danny, but it's good time." He knelt, taking her hand, his mechanic's calluses rough against her papery skin. "Good's enough. Sophie's still floating from yesterday." Clara chuckled, a sound that didn't hurt as much now. "She's a dreamer, takes after you." Sophie looked up, her braids swinging as she grinned. "Gran, I drew the nanobots, see? They're saving you." She held up the sketch, tiny robots with glowing cores, zapping dark blobs. Clara's heart swelled, tears pricking her eyes. "They're perfect, Soph, my little army." Sophie scrambled over, climbing onto the bed to hug her, careful but fierce. "You're staying, right? Mr. Musk said the car's mine, but you're the best part." "Trying, Soph," Clara whispered, holding her tight, the watch ticking up, oxygen 94, as if Sophie's love fueled it. At Tesla HQ, Elon Musk stood in the Advanced Research Division, a sterile lab buzzing with quiet urgency. Dr. Elena Ruiz pored over holoscreens. Clara's scans glowed, tumors fraying at the edges, nanobots clustering like stars in a dying galaxy. "She's at 94, Elena said, adjusting her glasses. 7% shrinkage, unheard of in 3 days. Elon gripped the wooden box in his pocket, its weight a silent promise. "Enough for more?" he asked, voice tight. "More than enough," Elena replied, a rare grin breaking through. "Data's rewriting cancer tech. Her watch is a gold mine." He nodded, staring at the Model Y on a workshop feed. Sophie's gift, now a bridge to Clara's fight. "Today's the next step," he said. "Car's hers, treatment's hers." Box opens. Lydia Chin knocked, stepping in with a tablet. Clara's at 94, Sophie's sketching nanobots. Daniel's hopeful. Elon's lips twitched. "Kid's a visionary, keep em ready for noon." "Hotel's set," Lydia added. Elena's there, scans are live. Elon texted Priya Patel. "Car's static, vitals syncing?" Reply, "Perfect, data's clean." Then Elena. "Clara's climbing, 94's real." "Noon's on." He exhaled, relief sharp and fleeting, then turned to the lab's corner. A sealed case holding more nanobot vials, a future he'd barely whispered. "This rolls with the gift," he told Elena, tapping the box. Sophie's spark, Clara's legacy. Back at the hotel, Elena arrived at 11 a.m., her tablet glowing with fresh data. "Clara," she said, settling by the bed, "you're a pioneer. Tumors down 7%, oxygen up. Nanobots are winning." Clara's breath caught, mask off now. "Months. Likely," Elena said, honest. "Maybe more. Data's a lifeline for millions." Daniel's eyes widened. "More than weeks." "Yes," Elena nodded. "She's rewriting the rules." Sophie bounced up. "Gran's a superhero. Nanobots are her cape." Elena laughed. "Close, she's helping everyone." Clara's tears fell, soft and silent. "For her," she said, nodding at Sophie, "it's worth it." Noon struck as Elon pulled up in the Model Y, the solar trailer hitched, a small crowd gathering, staff, guests, a news drone humming overhead. He stepped out, cap off, wooden box in hand, and waved as Daniel wheeled Clara down, Sophie skipping ahead. "Sophie Evans," he called. "Your birthday's not over, come see." Sophie raced to the car, hands flying over the grips, the solar panels, her sketches made real. "It's all mine." "Yours and Gran's," Elon said, helping Clara in, those grips smooth, her oxygen tank snug. "Test drives now, then more." They glided along the coast, Sophie in back with Daniel, Elon at the wheel. "Solar kit's yours," he said, tapping the screen. Energy stats danced. "Installs in Tucson, your design." Sophie's jaw dropped. "My sketches?" "Gran, it's real." Clara turned, her smile bright despite the fatigue. "Your future, sophomore." Autopilot hummed, the car weaving flawlessly, Sophie clapping. Magic. Science, Elon corrected, grinning. Your science. Back at the hotel, Elena met them, scans glowing. Clara, 8% down, 94's holding. Daniel exhaled. Months. More maybe, Elena said. Millions owe her. Elon knelt by Clara's chair. Car's Sophie's, treatment's yours. But this, he pulled the wooden box, opening it at last, inside a flash drive with the Tesla logo, a folded letter. Read it, he said, handing it to Sophie. She unfolded it, voice trembling. Dear Mrs. Evans, this drive holds 5 years of nanobot research. Every test, every breakthrough. It's hope, not a cure yet, but a start. I've donated it to cancer centers worldwide. Free for all. Named the Clara Evans Foundation. Your courage made this. Your legacy lives in every life it touches. Respect, Elon Musk. Sophie's eyes widened. Gran, you're famous. Clara's tears fell hard now, Daniel's too. Elon, she whispered, why? Because you walked in, he said quiet, and showed me what matters. Sophie hugged her, fierce. You're saving people, Gran. Elena stepped up. 8%, data's a tidal wave. You're a pioneer. Night fell, Sophie sketching by Clara's bed. Nanobots now a legacy, while Daniel watched, hope solidifying. Mom, you're a miracle, he said. Sophie's the miracle, Clara replied, her watch at 94. At HQ, Elena briefed Elon, scans glowed, a future unfurling. She's infinite, she said. Your scales tipped. He nodded, the box empty, its gift unleashed, a dawn beyond the horizon. August 17th, 2025, unfurled over the Coastal View Hotel with a quiet grace. The Pacific's waves whispering against the shore as if reluctant to disturb the fragile triumph, settling into Clara Evans's medical suite. She woke to the steady hiss of her oxygen tank, its rhythm now a familiar friend rather than a grim reminder. The Tesla watch on her wrist blinked, heart rate 87, oxygen 95. A number she hadn't seen since before the cancer took root, a testament to the nanobot's relentless work. Yesterday's revelation, the Clara Evans Foundation, the flash drive of hope unleashed to the world, still hummed in her chest, a weightless joy mingling with the ache in her bones. She wasn't cured, but she was alive, and her fight had rippled beyond her wildest dreams. The suite glowed with morning light filtering through the fog, casting soft shadows across the plush carpet. Nurse Tomas Rivera checked her monitors, his hands steady as he adjusted the 4 dripping nutrients into her frail frame. You're a legend, Mrs. Evans, he said, his voice warm with admiration. Oxygen's at 95, tumors down 10% since yesterday. The nanobots are rewriting history. Clara slipped off the mask, her breath still shallow but smoother, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Enough to see Sophie grow? She asked, her rasp softened by hope. Tomas glanced at the watch, then her chart. More than enough, Elena's calling it a miracle. Her smile deepened, fierce despite the fatigue, her eyes drifting to Sophie, who slept sprawled on the armchair, sketchbook open to a drawing of a solar-powered city, her grand's legacy in pencil and dreams. Daniel stood by the window, the fog outside thinning to reveal the ocean's endless dance. He'd shed the exhaustion of weeks past, his shoulders squared with a quiet pride as he watched Clara defy the odds. Mom, he said, crossing to her bedside, you're glowing, really. That foundation thing, it's you. Clara met his gaze, steady and bright. Borrowed time, Danny, but it's ours now. He knelt, taking her hand, his rough fingers tracing hers. Ours is plenty, Sophie's still buzzing about that drive. Clara chuckled, the sound lighter now, less pained. She's a force, takes after her dad. Sophie stirred then, blinking awake as sunlight caught her braids. Gran, she mumbled, then grinned as memory flooded back. The foundation. You're famous, right? Clara's heart swelled, tears pricking her eyes. Not me, Soph, you're the spark. Sophie scrambled up, sketchbook tumbling, her voice a torrent of excitement. Gran, I drew a city, solar, like the car. It's got nanobots too, fixing people. She held up the page, towers with panels, tiny robots zipping through streets. Clara's tears fell softly. Perfect, Soph, my dreamer. Sophie climbed onto the bed, hugging her tight, careful but fierce. You're staying, Gran, right? Trying, Soph, Clara whispered, her watch ticking up, oxygen 96, as if Sophie's faith pushed it higher. At Tesla HQ, Elon Musk stood in the Advanced Research Division, the lab a hive of quiet intensity. Dr. Elena Ruiz pored over holoscreens. Clara's scans glowed, tumors shrinking, nanobots swarming with eerie precision. She's at 96, Elena said, adjusting her glasses. 10% down, unprecedented in 4 days. Elon leaned against a table, the now empty wooden box beside him, its gift unleashed to the world. Enough for years? He asked, voice tight with stakes he rarely voiced. Maybe, Elena replied, a grin breaking through. Data's a tidal wave. Cancer centers are clamoring for it. He nodded, staring at the Model Y on a workshop feed. Sophie's blue beacon, now a symbol of Clara's fight. Today's the next beat, he said. She sees it live. Lydia Chin swept in, tablet glowing with updates. Clara's at 96, Sophie's sketching cities. Daniel's solid. Elon's lips twitched. Kid's a genius, set it for noon. Hotel's ready, Lydia added. Elena's there, scans are streaming. Elon texted Priya Patel. Cars static, vitals live? Reply flawless, data's gold. Then Elena. Clara's at 96 to 10% down. Noon set. He exhaled, relief a rare guest, then turned to the lab's corner. A sealed vault holding more nanobot vials, a future he'd barely begun to map. This rolls with her, he told Elena, nodding at the screens. Sophie's spark, Clara's echo. Back at the hotel, Elena arrived at 11 a.m., her tablet alive with data. Clara, she said, settling by the bed. You're a marvel. Tumors down 10%, oxygen at 96. Nanobots are winning. Clara's breath caught, mask off now. Years. Possibly, Elena said, honest. Maybe more, data's rewriting lives. Daniel's eyes widened. Years, not months. Likely, Elena nodded. She's a pioneer. Sophie bounced up. Gran's a superhero. Nanobots are her army. Elena laughed. Exactly, she's saving millions. Clara's tears fell, soft and steady. For her, she said, nodding at Sophie. It's everything. Noon loomed as Elon pulled up in the Model Y, the solar trailer hitched, a growing crowd outside, staff, guests, news vans circling like hawks. He stepped out, cap off, waving as Daniel wheeled Clara down, Sophie skipping ahead. Sophie Evans, he called. Ready for the next piece? Sophie raced to the car, hands tracing the grips, the panels, her dreams in steel and glass. More, Elon said, helping Clara in, those grips smooth, her oxygen tank snug. Drives now, then live. They glided along the coast, Sophie in back with Daniel, Elon at the wheel. Solar kit's live, he said, tapping the screen, stats danced. Tucson's next, your city starts there. Sophie's jaw dropped. My drawings? Gran, it's happening. Clara turned, her smile bright despite the weariness. Your world, sophomore. Back at the hotel, a screen glowed in the lobby. Live feeds from cancer centers worldwide, doctors holding Clara's flash drive, patients watching. Elon parked, helping Clara out as Elena approached. Clara, 11% down, 90 SXS steady. Daniel exhaled. Years. More maybe, Elena said. Millions see her now. Elon knelt by Clara, turning her chair to the screen. Faces from London, Tokyo, Mumbai, all thanking Clara Evans. This, he said, is you. Sophie hugged her, fierce. Gran, you're everywhere. Clara's tears fell hard, Daniel's too. Elon, she whispered, why me? Because you walked in, he said, quiet, and showed me infinity. Night fell, Sophie sketching by Clara's bed. Cities now alive with nanobots, while Daniel watched, hope a solid thing. Mom, you're eternal, he said. Sophie's the eternal, Clara replied, her watch at 96. At HQ, Elena briefed Elon, scans glowed, a future unfurling. She's a star, she said. Your scales broke. He nodded, the box gone, its echo infinite, a promise kept, a world changed. August 18th, 2025, dawned over the Coastal View Hotel with a stillness that felt earned. The Pacific stretching endless and calm beneath a sky streaked with pink and gold. Clara Evans woke in her medical suite. The familiar hiss of her oxygen tank a quiet underscore to the steady beep of monitors charting her improbable climb. The Tesla watch on her wrist glowed. Heart rate 86, oxygen 97. A number that defied the doctor's grim 3-month sentence from weeks ago. The nanobots hummed in her veins, their microscopic war against her cancer now a quiet victory, shrinking tumors by 12% in 5 days. She wasn't cured, her bones still ached, her breath still faltered. But she was here, alive, and yesterday's live broadcast of her legacy, the Clara Evans Foundation, still echoed in her soul, a gift she'd never dreamed possible. The suite bathed in soft morning light, the fog of days past burned away by the sun's gentle insistence. Nurse Tomas Rivera adjusted her his hands steady as he reviewed the latest scans on a tablet. "You're a wonder, Mrs. Evans," he said, his voice thick with respect. "Oxygen's at 97, tumors down 12%. The nanobots are rewriting the books." Clara slipped off the mask, her breath smoother now, a faint smile breaking through the lines of her face. "Enough to watch Sophie soar?" she asked, her rasp softened by a strength she'd rediscovered. Tomas glanced at the watch, then her chart. "More than enough. Elena's calling it a new era." Her smile deepened, fierce and radiant, her gaze drifting to Sophie, who slept curled in the armchair, sketchbook splayed open to a vision of a solar-powered world. Her grand's fight inked in every line. Daniel stood by the window, the ocean's shimmer reflecting in his eyes, a quiet awe replacing the exhaustion that had shadowed him for months. He'd watched Clara fade, then rise, and now she was something more, a beacon he'd never expected. "Mom," he said, crossing to her bedside, "you're shining, really. That broadcast yesterday, it's everywhere." Clara met his gaze, steady and warm. "Borrowed time, Danny, but it's theirs now." He knelt, taking her hand, his mechanic's roughness gentle against her frailty. "Theirs is ours. Sophie's got years with you yet." Clara's tears pricked, soft and silent. "Years," she whispered, tasting the word like a prayer. Sophie woke then, blinking against the light, her braids a wild crown as she grinned. "Gran," she mumbled, then bolted upright as memory flooded back. "The foundation. You're on TV, right?" Clara chuckled, the sound light and free of pain. "Not me, Soph, you're the heart." Sophie scrambled up, sketchbook tumbling, her voice a torrent of joy. "Gran, I drew the world, solar, nanobots, everything. It's us." She held up the page, cities with panels, robots healing, a blue Model Y at the center. Clara's tears fell gently. "Perfect, Soph, my inventor." Sophie climbed onto the bed, hugging her tight, careful but fierce. "You're staying, Gran, right?" "Staying," Clara promised, her watch ticking up, oxygen 98, as Sophie's love fueled her fire. At Tesla HQ, Elon Musk stood in the Advanced Research Division, the lab a quiet cathedral of possibility. Dr. Elena Ruiz pored over hollow screens. Clara's scans glowed, tumors fraying, nanobots a constellation of hope. "She's at 98, Elena said, adjusting her glasses. 12% down, unheard of in 5 days. Elon leaned against a workbench, the empty wooden box beside him, its gift now a global flame. "Enough for a decade?" he asked, voice low with stakes he rarely bared. "Maybe," Elena replied, a grin breaking through. "Data's a revolution. Cancer centers are scaling it now." He nodded, staring at the Model Y on a workshop feed, Sophie's blue dream, Clara's bridge. "Today's the capstone," he said. She goes home. Lydia Chen swept in, tablet alive with updates. Clara's at 98, Sophie's sketching worlds. Daniel's steady. Elon's lips twitched. "Kid's a titan, set it for noon." "Hotel's ready," Lydia added. Elena's there, scans are gold. Elon texted Priya Patel. "Cars live, vitals synced?" Reply. "Perfect, data's infinite." Then Elena. "Clara's at 98 to 12% down. Noon's final." He exhaled, relief a rare visitor, then turned to the lab's vault. More nanobot vials, a future unfurling. "This flies with her," he told Elena, nodding at the screens. Sophie's spark, Clara's forever. Back at the hotel, Elena arrived at 11 a.m., her tablet glowing with triumph. "Clara," she said, settling by the bed. "You're a legend. Tumors down 12%, oxygen at 98. Nanobots are rewriting fate." Clara's breath caught, mask off now. "A decade. Possibly," Elena said, honest. "Maybe more, data's saving millions." Daniel's eyes widened. "A decade, not years?" "Likely," Elena nodded. "She's the spark." Sophie bounced up. "Gran's a superhero. Nanobots are her stars." Elena laughed. "Exactly, she's healing the world." Clara's tears fell, soft and steady. "For her," she said, nodding at Sophie, "it's all." Noon struck as Elon pulled up in the Model Y, solar trailer hitched, a small crowd outside, staff, guests, news drones buzzing. He stepped out, cap off, waving as Daniel wheeled Clara down, Sophie skipping ahead. "Sophie Evans," he called. "Ready to go home?" Sophie raced to the car, hands tracing the grips, the panels, her dreams alive. "Home with Gran." "Home with Gran," Elon said, helping Clara in. Those grips smooth, her oxygen tank snug. "Drives now, then Tucson." They glided along the coast, Sophie in back with Daniel, Elon at the wheel. "Solar kits installed," he said, tapping the screen, stats glowed. "Your city starts now." Sophie's jaw dropped. My world? Gran, it's real. Clara turned, her smile bright despite the weariness. You're tomorrow, sophomore. Back at the hotel, a jet waited, Tesla emblem gleaming, medical suite on board. Elena met them, scans glowing. Clara, 13% down, 98's rock solid. Daniel exhaled. A decade? More maybe, Elena said. Millions owe her. Elon knelt by Clara. Car's hers, treatment's hers. You're the scales balanced. Sophie hugged her fierce. Gran, you're forever. Clara's tears fell hard, Daniel's too. Elon, she whispered, why me? Because you walked in, he said quiet, and changed everything. They boarded the jet, Clara strapped in, Sophie chattering, Daniel steady. The Model Y rolled behind, bound for Tucson. As they lifted off, Clara watched the coast fade, her watch at 98, her heart full. Night fell in Tucson, Sophie sketching by her bedside. World's now real, while Daniel watched, hope a solid truth. Mom, you're infinite, he said. Sophie's the infinite, Clara replied, smiling. At HQ, Elena briefed Elon. Scans glowed, a legacy alive. She's eternal, she said. Your scales won. He nodded, the box gone, its promise complete. A cleaner's courage, an inventor's dream, a world remade.